Okay, so once I finished that, I ended up with this much zucchini. That's from one zucchini. That's maybe about 5 cups. So yeah, I think the recipe only calls for 1 or 2, so you maybe only have to use like half a zucchini. But I'm gonna be making a lot of stuff, so like I said, I'm just gonna keep cooking and keep making stuff with zucchini until I finish. Next, 1 cup butter and 2 cups sugar. I'm not sure how many cookies that makes. Maybe 2 dozen. So okay, so we want to cream that together. Normally I like to put that in a big standing mixer, but I can't find the beaters for it because we're still kind of moving in. So I use a little hand mixer, and actually that works really well. Just, yeah. After that, you want to add 2 eggs. Let you guys see this mad egg adding action. Try not to get shell in there. I think we need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I actually usually put in more. I like vanilla, so anything I make, I usually put in more, and it turns out fine. So yeah, you can do that too. Don't be afraid to use extra vanilla. So we'll put in 2 of those. I'll put in 4. Give you a little bit extra. Yeah. Good stuff. Cat just jumped on the counter. She's trying to. Yeah. Okay. And then you cream that together. And then I think we need to do all the dry ingredients. Oh, actually no. You add your zucchini next. So we'll do that. Maybe I should have measured that. Well, yeah, I'm gonna see how much I need. I think the recipe calls for 2. Yeah, 2 cups of zucchini. Okay, so this was about 5, so I'm gonna put in what looks like 4. Usually I just kind of wing it. I don't always measure it. I just kind of guess, and it works out. Okay, so we'll lightly mix that together. Okay. Then you're supposed to add just a little bit of salt, but I don't really like salt. I don't usually put any in, actually. I usually skip that part. And this recipe calls for 2/3 of a teaspoon of salt, that's silly, but for the sake of the recipe, following it exactly, I'll put a little bit in. Okay, so there's the salt. I'll just kind of... Okay, if you're wondering about my weird bangs, so I went to Walmart to get my hair cut. I know, probably not a good idea anyway, a Walmart haircut. But I did, and the lady was a psycho, and I was trying to explain like what I wanted to happen with my bangs, and she's like, oh, I know, and I knew she didn't understand, but she just kind of steps in there, and she just goes, choom, right across. Not even pulling it up nice or doing a little scissors thing, she just goes right across. And you can actually see, like, she got some over here. It's just, it was bad, and she didn't even get it straight, and I don't know, I guess it's better if I do this. I can kind of play with it and make it look like it's straight, but not too well. So I'm kind of not happy about that. So if you're wondering why my bangs look weird, I don't know, maybe you didn't notice, but it's really bugging me, so yeah. Okay, anyway, so I meant to record the dry ingredients, and for some reason it didn't work, so I'll just tell you what I did. Basically, for the dry ingredients, you sift together 4 cups of flour, my cat was trying to get into the butter. Anyway, so you sift together, I'm gonna wash my hands. You sift together 4 cups of flour, and then you do 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, and 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And then you mix it in a separate bowl, and then you add it to this one. I'm not using a blender because I doubled it. It ended up being 8 cups of flour, which is a lot. I should have looked ahead. I didn't realize that I had that much flour. So I ended up with 1 giant bowl of flour and 1 giant bowl of the wet ingredients. And now I'm just trying to put them in the same bowl, but there's not really much room. So I'm mixing it very carefully, just hoping that it's all gonna go together okay. But I got it all into one bowl. It's really, really full. And it's probably gonna make like 200 cookies, but I got it in there, so that's good. Now, I'm not sure if I told you guys this, but you want to preheat the oven to 400 degrees, so it should be at 400 degrees. You can just do that at the beginning of when you're cooking, and then it's ready to go when you want to use it. And you drop by teaspoonful onto the cookie sheet. Now, that seems really small, but they do expand because of all the baking powder that you add in them. Now that I think about it, I think that I usually put more than a teaspoon. I think these are actually still going to be kind of on the small side, but I'll show you how they turn out, and then I guess we'll see. So I'm going to make these and bake them, and then I'll show you how they turned out. Okay, so these actually turned out really small. I don't know, I guess on camera they look okay, but they're actually really small, like that big. So I tried making them a little bit bigger. I guess they don't expand that much. I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep trying batches. But you want to bake them for about 10 minutes. So here's another one. Okay, so that actually turned out pretty good. They're pretty good cookie size. They look whiter on camera, but they're actually a nice golden brown. They're really nice. 10 minutes, still a good time. Also, the cookie sheet should be greased. I didn't mention that I had a special magical cookie sheet. Somebody got this for us for our wedding, and it's really cool. I don't know if you can see this. It has these little grooves in it, and somehow that makes it so nothing sticks to it, and you don't ever need to grease it, and so it works really well. But yeah, if you don't have one of those, you should grease it, because otherwise it'll kind of stick to it. But it still comes off pretty decent. So yeah. So this is the size of cookie I started out with. This is what I ended up with. Normal size, cookie size. It's kind of goldeny. I need to tell on the camera, but yeah, they're really good. I'd say 11 minutes with a preheated oven probably does it the best. I know with my grandma's recipe, it says, I don't know where she got it from, or maybe she made it, but it says 8 to 15 minutes, which is a really big difference in time, so I guess it depends on the oven and if it's preheated, so you kind of have to watch it. For my oven, it worked out good to be about 11, maybe you could even go 12, so yeah.